Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto, and today guys we are taking another cheeky look at Vechain. This is one of our favourite projects here at Cheeky Crypto. Chris, this is your biggest bag?
This is my biggest investment in this space, Nick. I love this project. I love all the projects we're invested in, but this one being my biggest bag, I do love it.
Fantastic. So guys, what we're going to do is we're going to hop over, we're going to take a look at the charts, we're going to take a look at what the technicals are indicating to us, and we're going to obviously give us take a look at some of those price predictions that the Fibonacci retracement extensions are showing us. We're also going to give a rough time frame as well as to when we think this is going to happen. Ultimately, we're looking at about 200%, Chris, growth between now and what we think will be, mid to end of March, and yeah, let's get into some of that. So as always guys, if you find it useful and informative, do go ahead and smash that like button. Chris really appreciates it, as do I. And as always, if you're new to the channel and not yet subscribed, do go ahead and subscribe. By being a subscriber, you will be kept up to date with all of the videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Right, with all that said, Chris, shall we jump on over to the charts, take a look at Vechain, go through some of those technicals and look at what kind of 200% growth we are thinking about here for the VET token.
Yeah, let's do it, Nick. I love this project. Come on.
Fantastic, right? So here we are, right? This is the Vechain to USD. We do everything in USD just because it makes it easier for conversions, and a lot more people seem to understand the US dollar and are able to do their conversions. We have seen a couple of comments saying, why do we do it in USD when we're clearly British? But it just makes it easier for more people. So you see, this is Vechain to the dollar, and we have a Fibonacci, right? So this is a Fib retracement, and it goes on to a low level here of March and the high level that we had here in August. Okay, so that was like the biggest motion that we had up, right, at the time. And then obviously we had the breakthrough recently, which set all new all-time highs, right? And that's basically where we are at the moment. So we have a trend line up here as well. We have a one at this end, and we have one up here. This one at the bottom here obviously was working as a resistance that we broke through, and then this one here was also showing us what that upper limit might be, but we also broke through that 2 days ago, so that's really fantastic news. So what we're going to do is, if I show you what I mean by that, I'm going to pull that this one this way a little bit. Okay, so you can see how it was acting as support here, and then it flips into resistance, right? And it was resistance, and it was resistance, and it broke through. And the same way that this is resistance, we broke through it, it should now become support. And we're going to get into why that's important as we progress through this chart. So as we can see, we're going to just zoom in here so you get a bigger view. We can see is that basically we hit a lot of technical stuff as we were going through here. So with all Fibonacci's, there are some real key areas that you need to pay attention to, and this is no exception. We obviously had this being hit here and a breakthrough here, right? Really in key levels. We can obviously see lots going on and around these zones here and here. Okay, and again in this area, and obviously when we're broken down into here, we saw lots of action in this particular area here, lots of testing on those key levels and breakthroughs all the time. This happens so consistently, guys. I do see comments, don't we, Chris, where we say, oh, can you really use technicals for cryptocurrency? And believe it or not, absolutely. There's so many traders who are just trading this stuff that actually it kind of actually applies more technically than just speculation. So utility makes very little difference at the moment until we get more money in this space. And it's nice to see $1 trillion, but you need a lot more than that to, kind of control that volatility and for utility to make a difference rather than just speculation. So at the moment, the technicals are very important.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, there's a lot of emotion in this particular market. So yeah, the technicals do play a big part in being able to predict how the market's going to move, and a lot of it is based purely on emotional behavior. It's pretty much what it is.
Absolutely. So let's get into what's been happening recently with Vechain, right? So if we come down here, we can obviously see this major breakthrough that happened on the 3rd of January, right? We smashed straight through this former resistance trend line. But not only there is also a little faint blue line here. I'm going to make this a little bit darker so you can see it. This blue line here, which was also acting as a bit of a resistance. Now that was important because our trend line crossed over at the same time it crossed over our resistance horizontal line. So the trend and our basically resistance line crossed, and we had that bullish movement. That was a clear sign that something was going to happen. And considering the amount of momentum that was here, it was only going to really go in one direction. So that was absolutely positive. And obviously we broke through that all-time high level as well, which was absolutely fantastic. So that happened here. And obviously after the 3rd of January, we did have it crash back down, and you can see how it hit right back on that technical there. Of the support level. So absolutely really important to kind of understand what's going on there. So the other thing that we're going to talk about here as well is, how it then bounced back, and we obviously challenged the upper support and trend line. Okay. Now, we didn't get through it that day, but we did get it through on the 6th. That was 2 days ago. We got through on the 6th of January, and we brought the price up to new all-time highs. From here, we obviously came down, and this is the most important thing to understand, guys. If there's a time where you're just looking at Vechain and you're thinking, I wonder if can I get in, this is a prime opportunity right here. We're bouncing right off of that former resistance, now flipped into support. From here, we were expecting things to start moving upwards again. So this is a real good time if you're thinking about potentially filling those bags a little bit more. Okay, so guys, let's take a look at what we think the future can look like. Okay, so obviously, as we were just saying, there's a fantastic buying opportunity at this particular zone here because we are bouncing off of that flipped resistance to support level. Really important. So as I was saying, Chris, is there anything you would like to add here? Obviously, we've broken through that trend line. We've come back down. We've tested it. It seems to be bouncing off. This is probably one of the last opportunities to get into VET at, lower than 3 cents, I feel.
Yeah, I feel the same, Nick. I kind of feel like, the time is upon us now, isn't it? And, not that I'm, it's only my opinion. Don't invest based on anything that I say. It's not financial advice, but, for me, the technicals are indicating that, these prices are going to be a thing of the past, right? And I know before on previous videos we said $2, didn't we, for 2021?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, absolutely. So in this video, we're talking specifically about the short term, right? So we're saying 200% in the short term. And still, we think that $2 might be a little bit high for 2021. I think that was BitBoy's prediction. And, he's usually pretty good. So that might be the case. I think $1, very, very reasonable. And we do have this article here that also says, XLM is heading towards $1, right? So there's lots of talk about these kind of numbers. So definitely not out of the realm of possibility. Now we're entering what is going to be gearing up to be a massive bull cycle. So let's take a look at some of these extensions, right? So the first one is 3.5 cents. That's that blue line that you see there. Really important to understand that actually, we're going to bounce off here and be heading to breach that level. That's why I'm saying potentially this is going to be one of the last opportunities to get a sub 3 cent VET token, right? If we pull this down and we just take a little bit of a higher look, we can see that the next level here is at 5.6 cents, okay? Absolutely fantastic. And then obviously 7.7, and we get to that higher level there of 9 cents, right? So the potential for VET at this point is absolutely massive. We're going to see this huge motion and upwards move. I think this is going to likely to happen probably by the end of March. We're going to see, potentially 9 cents. That's what my thought pattern is at the moment. I'm going to just pull this down, guys, and then show you what that looks like, right? So I'm going to go ahead and find my price range for you. So we're going to take that current low level, which is just bouncing off of there, and it's going to go all the way up to the top here. So we're going to just pop that on that line. It shows it at 216% from the low level that it is today right now, all the way up to that point. So that's an absolutely fantastic opportunity for the short term. At longer term, this thing I think is going to ride all the way up to at least $1, I would have thought, during the main cycle. It doesn't take a huge amount of money either to kind of get into that realm. You can see I've marked it here roughly. I'm going to make this a little bit darker so you can see it. That blue line just at the top there. And I'm going to grab our price here and just move it up. And that's basically going to show us a 3,400% growth on our current position. So absolutely massive movements for VET, I believe, in 2021. I'm really bullish on this project. It's one of your absolute biggest bags, Chris, and you know, rightfully so. It's a fantastic project that has so much going for it. You know, even beyond that of you know, just supply chain management, it does a lot for a lot of other things as well. So Chris, anything you want to add on, you know, what we're seeing here in the charts data, or just as Vechain as a whole?
The only thing that I'd add is, you know, the use cases that you mentioned. You've got the stuff going on in Cyprus around the vaccinations and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, there's lots going on for this project, trying to get into the gaming aspect as well with the
NFTs, yeah.
Yeah, I always get it wrong. But yeah, like, fantastic project, great team, and you know, finally, after me saying it for I don't know how long, we're starting to see some traction.
Fantastic. So guys, if you found this useful and informative, do go ahead and smash that like button. Chris really appreciates it. I really appreciate it. I think to think the entire Cheeky Crypto community appreciates it. And if you're not yet subscribed, do go ahead and subscribe. By being a subscriber here, you will be kept up to date with all of the videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And with that said, we hope you have a fantastic day, guys, and we'll catch you all in the next one.
Take care.